Star Wars Visions is out. I went through all the episodes and collected as many Easter eggs and references to other Star Wars, science fiction, and anime stories I could find, which totaled 63, so let's dive in. There will be spoilers for the shorts ahead, so this is your warning. The Arabesh at the start of the duel reads, "The Duel," because that's the title. I know that seems obvious, but people like to know what Arabesh says. The whole short is an homage to the samurai films of Akira Kurosawa, whose work greatly influenced George Lucas when he originally developed Star Wars. The bandits can be seen wearing various pieces of stormtrooper armor from both the Galactic Empire and the First Order. The bounty hunters are all familiar designs. The droid with the rotary blaster is an RA-7 droid, more commonly known as a Death Star droid. The sniper is a Tusken Raider. Their commander is a Trandoshan, and I especially like their design. There's a Dug piloting what seems to be a repurposed probe droid with swords in its arms. The lone survivor of the group at the end is a Gran. Oh, and of course, the tea shop owner is a Solistan. The Sith Bandit's umbrella lightsaber gives her the ability to hover for short periods of time, much like the Imperial Inquisitor's infamous lightsabers seen in Star Wars Rebels. As the Ronin and the Bandit confront each other, a poster for Star Wars can be seen on a billboard on the wall of one of the buildings. The story of the Ronin continues on in the book Ronin by Emma Candon. It's not out for a while more, but I did really enjoy having the extra information while watching the duel. I'll cover the book when it's out, but it answers a lot of questions about this version of the Star Wars universe. Tatooine Rhapsody has the most connections back to other Star Wars stories. The band's leader, Jay, is a Padawan in hiding after the events of the Clone Wars. The band's bassist, G, is a Hutt that chose not to join the family business. For that, Jabba demands his execution. So naturally, Boba Fett shows up to collect the bounty, and he is voiced by Tamira Morrison, who played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, and now Boba Fett in The Mandalorian and the upcoming Book of Boba Fett. During a fight between the band and the bounty hunters, the Wilhelm scream can be heard, a mainstay in Star Wars sound effects. Where Boba Fett is, you can also expect to see his ship, the Slave One, which chases and shoots the band down. To save their captured friend, the band performs for Jabba at the Grand Arena on Tatooine, where the crowd gathers for the Bunta Eve Classic in The Phantom Menace. Jabba is joined by Bib Fortuna and a handful of his Gamorrean guards. The concert is shown across Tatooine, and we see children watching on screens similar to the ones Shmi uses to watch Anakin race in Episode 1. We see a lot of familiar faces in the cantina, including Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes watching the concert in holographic form. We even see Obi-Wan's hut, so I assume that means he's bopping along to the music as well. The dancers from Jabba's palace, Ristal Sant, Lin Mi, and Griata, can all be seen dancing around Jabba the Hutt at the end of the short. The Twins is about two siblings who were born of the dark side of the Force. We see some of their history, including the Sith acolytes of Exegol engineering their creation. The twins live on a new superweapon that is made up of two Star Destroyers joined together with a hypercannon in the middle. It has the power to destroy a planet, so the Sith are still on that it seems. The weapon is called the Gemini-class Star Destroyer, and Gemini is a constellation also known as the Twins. The weapon is powered by a kyber crystal just like other superweapons, and the crystal becomes central to the conflict between the twins. One of the twins, Am, has a droid named B-20N. He's a protocol droid that resembles 000 from the Dr. Aphra series. The other twin, Kare, has a droid named R-Duo, which I assume is an homage to R2-D2. Their ship's hangar has a very eclectic collection of starfighters, including TIE fighters, bombers, and interceptors, as well as an A-Wing, B-Wing, V-Wing, X-Wing, Y-Wing, and a Jedi Interceptor. Kare tells Am he's taking the kyber crystal to a galaxy far, far away, which, well, you know. Kare winds up cutting the Star Destroyer in half using a super-powered lightsaber while riding on the outside of an X-Wing traveling at light speed, which is as insane as it sounds, but it looks beautiful. The end result is very similar to the Holdo maneuver from The Last Jedi. While he attempts something so reckless, his droid reminds him of Yoda's wisdom, but worded a little differently: there is no try, only do. Kare winds up crash-landed on Tatooine, watching the twin sun set, hopeful that he will one day reunite with his sister. In The Village Bride, we see a planet that was once under attack from the Separatists in the Clone Wars. Raiders came when the war ended and reprogrammed the droids to work for them. The droids are still voiced by Matthew Wood. The Jedi character leaves the planet in a Z-95 Headhunter starfighter at the end of the short. The Ninth Jedi was my favorite of the shorts and has a really fun connection to older Star Wars content. The sabersmith creates lightsabers with kyber crystals that can change the length and color of the blade according to their wielders. In the comic adaptation of Return of the Jedi, Luke's lightsaber changed from green to red when Vader held and activated it. It was originally thought that lightsabers would reflect the personalities of whoever wielded them, but the concept was abandoned. It's cool to see it used in Visions, and to great and creative effect. This one might be a coincidence, but the Margrave character who summons all the Jedi has a symbol reminiscent of Ahsoka's. It's different, but familiar, as if it evolved over the course of generations. T0B1 is about a droid that eventually learns to use the Force. I can't help but think about the story of R5D4, or Skippy, who was another Force-sensitive droid in the Not Even Legends canon story called Skippy the Jedi Droid. I assume T0B1's name is meant to reference Obi-Wan as well. T0B1 has carvings on his wall of familiar Star Wars iconography, like the Jedi Temple, Imperial Walkers and Starfighters, a Wampa, and what I assume to be a crude drawing of General Grievous. It's vague, but I believe T0B1 takes place on Tatooine, where his master hopes to one day grow plants there to change the landscape. That's very similar to the goals of the Fremen tribes of the book Dune, hoping to one day change the climate of their desert world, Arrakis. Dune was an inspiration to the original Star Wars, and I think there might even be a carving of a sandworm on the wall. T0B1's master, Mataka, echoes Yoda's words in The Empire Strikes Back about how a Jedi does not seek adventure or excitement. He later states that he is one with the Force and the Force is with him, Chirrut's mantra from Rogue One. Mataka has a T-16 Skyhopper in his basement, just like the one the Lars family had in their garage in A New Hope. The villain of the story is an Imperial Inquisitor who first arrives in a TIE Reaper. That ship was first introduced in Rogue One, but we've seen Inquisitors use them in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The Inquisitor later arrives in a TIE Advance, also seen used by Inquisitors in Star Wars Rebels, perhaps suggesting how much time has passed over the course of this short. In The Elder, the first reveal that the old man is a Sith is when he opens his eyes to reveal that his irises are yellow, which has always been a sign that a being has immersed themselves in the dark side of the Force. When the old man dies, he crumbles away. I think that was just a stylistic choice, but it reminded me of the fates of the people petrified on Malachor, or the fate of a certain Jedi character in the novel The Rising Storm. In Lop and Ocho, the character of Lop looks like a rabbit. Her design was inspired by Jackson, the green Leppy from the original Marvel Comics. Ocho's father, Yasaburo, uses the phrase Dank Farrik, the swear popularized by and often used in The Mandalorian. Lop wears a device very similar to a scouter from Dragon Ball Z, a kind of scanner that often displayed a character's power level. The Empire's occupation of the planet Tau is similar to their occupation of Jeddah, with a Star Destroyer parked in low orbit above a local city. When Yasaburo attacks an Imperial installation, patrol troopers are sent to investigate. That kind of stormtrooper was first seen in Solo, a Star Wars story. The symbol of the Jedi Order is kept in a place of honor in Yasaburo's home when he passes on his family lightsaber to Lop. Yasaburo and his men fight against some familiar Imperial droids inside their base. You can very briefly see both KX series droids from Rogue One and DT series droids from Star Wars Rebels in the battle. Ocho fights Yasaburo and Lop with some red-bladed weapons that are similar to those used by the Praetorian Guard in The Last Jedi. Ocho flees her home on the hull of an Imperial Raider-class corvette. That ship was first created for the X-Wing miniatures game, but has since appeared in several Star Wars stories, including Battlefront 2, where it served as the home base for Inferno Squad. Tsubaki, the main character of Akakiri, crashes his B-Wing starfighter on a planet at the very start of the short. He suffers from visions of the Force of a horrible future. Much like Anakin, those visions turn out to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. The two guides of the story, Kamahachi and Senshu, reminded me of two of the central characters of The Hidden Fortress, an Akira Kurosawa film that heavily inspired the original Star Wars. R2-D2 and C-3PO were based on them. Something resembling the Death Star appears in holographic form. I have no idea what the characters are actually supposed to be looking at in this scene. The Princess Misa's temple looks a lot like the Coruscant Jedi Temple, both from the inside and out. Tsubaki saves Misa's life by using the dark side of the Force to heal her, in contrast with normal uses of the ability, which is normally considered to be of the light side. Finally, I noticed at least 5 of the shorts contained some version of the classic Star Wars phrase, "I have a bad feeling about this." Tatooine Rhapsody, The Twins, The Village Bride, T0B1, and The Elder. And that's all I caught, but I found more every time I watched one of the shorts again, so I'm sure there's more I didn't see. Let me know what you found in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more Visions coverage, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page to get access to our reactions and audio commentaries for each episode. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.